So once you're in your Google Ads editor account and you have got your recent changes, you'll be able to apply your audience lists. So this account is a good example of where we're using normal campaigns with audience observation and then actual remarketing specific campaigns. So you can see here, if I click on, I don't know, Cat BMM for example, on the right hand side where it's got audiences, the flexible reach is set to observation. So this means that any audiences that are applied to this cat campaign will be able to see the data for, but it's not just targeting those individually. Whereas if you move to the remarketing competitor campaign, for example, the audience is set to targeting. So that means it's only reaching people who fall into the audience lists and the keywords that we're targeting. So in order to see your audiences, if you click under the keywords and targeting section and scroll down, you'll get this area that's called audiences, and this is where you will create and apply your audiences based on what you've built already, so you can import them in this section. So you can see that there's different types of audiences that have been applied to this campaign, and these are being specifically targeted. So anybody who falls into this audience and also searches for a keyword such as pet crematorium Leyland will be targeted. Whereas on the dog exact campaign, for example, anybody searching for dog aftercare options, for example, will be targeted, but we will be able to observe the performance of people who fall into an audience, but it's not specifically targeted to them. So you can see here it's clearly broken out between the type of audiences that we have. So we've got all users, and then anything with GA is being built in Google Analytics and imported in. So this is a good example of capturing people based on how they've interacted with your website. So we've got people who have spent longer than 120 seconds on the website. We've got people who hit the dog page. We've got people who hit the contact us page, for example. And then on the same in the remarketing campaign, we've got returning users, engaged users over 120 seconds, and then we've got some of Google's predefined audience lists, so pet lovers, family focus, pet supplies as well. That's being targeted there. So to add an audience to your campaign within Google Ads Editor, you're just going to pop on this plus audience section. Depending on your goal, you'll either add it to an ad group or a campaign level. I normally always stick to a campaign level when I'm doing remarketing, and so I have a remarketing specific campaign. So you click campaign level, and this is where you've got all your audience lists. So there's Google's predefined audience lists. So you've got your affinity, in market, installed app categories, etc. You've got like detailed demographics, and then you've got life events, etc. And then you've got what we've created, so it'll be remarketing lists. And this is where you'll see a list of anything that you've built in your Google Ads account. So these will just be able to, you can literally just select them all like this and click OK, and they'll just be added. And this is showing a flag because it's already on this campaign, so these have all been added, and then those audiences will now show data in the Google Ads account. So you can either set that to targeted or observation. So observation is just to collect the data and understand how that audience list is performing. Targeting means that you're only targeting people who fall within that specific audience that you've applied to the campaign. So it's really important that you know the difference between those two. So once you've built your audience list and applied it, you can then just post it as normal, and then that's your campaign set up with remarketing audience lists. We'll go into some kind of advanced remarketing in some of my other videos in the future. So keep me posted if you want more information about audience lists, and if you've got any questions, you know where we are. Thanks guys, and keep learning.